All right, welcome to the 3G podcast. This is episode 441, and hey, we got a fair bit of news. We got another day in the visual novel book club to go over. We've got some gaming developments. I don't think most of them were positive again, but is what it is. There's a lot of negativity in the gaming industry these days, and this week isn't any different. And once Greg picks himself up from his torpor, he will get in here and he will have to tell us about. He finally finished a playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. He's been cleaning up Neo Seeker's guide for it, and finally got to the end. So he's going to be able to tell us his opinion of Baldur's Gate 3, which is a little late to the party. He was a little skeptical of my correct opinion. Hey, Rebecca, look what just dropped. Happy birthday! Yeah.
Fuck you to me.
Hey, if you put in 5% of the hours I put in, you would have a shack.
I put in enough hours to get at least one.
Yeah, you actually probably did.
Huh?
I said actually you probably did. Shako! I'm gonna have to just level up some of my mules to put these on at this point. No, I legit think I got a dozen of them.
I swear, every podcast, I just sit here and look at my screen, I don't know what to play.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Well, I decided, okay. I've got problems, and if Greg were here, he'd call me a cuck and a loser and a bitch, and he'd be right, because over the past week, I have done 4 pages, 12,000 words, and 200 map markers, which I should point out is 1/5 the total map markers done. So I haven't quite done the same volume as the full-time mappers, but I'm within 50 markers of the full-time guys that are doing the maps. And I've done a whole bunch of actual writing. So I don't know why, they fucked me over, they fucking took away my livelihood and are apparently going to be paying us peanuts. I'm still fucking working. I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense. That's just fucking stupid. That's bitch behavior.
Yeah, I guess I have the right attitude and I don't really give a fuck.
You do. No, you shouldn't. What can I say? I just love Oblivion, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But it's just sorry, we can't afford to pay your contract. Your work's great. Oh my god, look at all these traffic milestones we're hitting. Look at all these fucking YouTube subscribers. Okay. All right.
Oh man, I would not touch my keyboard again. You already bid enough for this fucking contract.
I did. I already put in a week. They said, oh, it was a short-term contract. I think we'll do a week. It's already been longer than a week, so.
No, you're done.
I should be. But I did make progress in the Mages Guild storyline. I was sitting at 5% trophy completion for a while, because what trophies do you get? You escape the Imperial sewers. You get one for that. And was that all? That might have been all I had, honestly.
Yeah, because it's all finish main story, do each of the factions, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. They probably should have updated the list. They should have given you a trophy for reaching level 25 or buying a house, buying all the houses. Something like that. They should have done better trophies. But these ones,
yeah.
To be fair, these will let you see most of the game. They just won't force you to do the out. They should have made you.
I'm here.
I see that. They should have given you a trophy for, enchanting an item, because that's what I did. I advanced to the Mages Guild quest line until I could enchant gear, because I have a crystalline cuirass, which gives 30% chameleon. I have the Ring of the Khajiit, which is 35% chameleon. and I think I have like a Ring of Shadows, which is like 25%. So if you put those 3 things on, you've got 90% Chameleon, and that's pretty good. But if you get 100% Chameleon in Oblivion, it breaks the game. NPCs just can't target you anymore. They can still talk to you if they're forced to, and it'll still like flag them as hostile if they're supposed to be flagged as hostile. But they can't. They literally can't find you, even if they talk to you and said, "No, I'm going to kill you." They just walk around like, "Where did they go?"
Yeah, I saw a video of someone with 100% Chameleon, and
Yeah,
they were just sitting there, just beating the shit out of everything.
yeah. It's like that's how I played the game way back in the day. I don't know why I'm using like Goldbrand as my main weapon, and most enemies are dying in a couple of hits. I'm like, I don't remember enemies being this easy. Like, if you wanted to max your stats, which I did, even though it's objectively not the best way to play the game, because enemies scale with all your levels, but like, you're only dealing more damage with, say, melee weapons as long as you're increasing your strength and unlocking like more powerful weapons. Once you've got 100 strength, 100 blade, and like a Daedric Claymore, you're not doing any more damage. But every level up will cause enemies to gain more. You'll gain more life too, so you won't really fall behind. But it just makes killing things take longer. And I remember I was like, the conclusion is foregone. Like, I'm gonna win all these fights. Even if I get in like a 3-on-1, I might have to like use a healing spell. But it's not gonna change the outcome. Especially since like I always play Brett and I always have 100% magic resistance, so I'm gonna win. It just takes longer. And after your like 5th or 6th Oblivion gate, you're like, you know what? Nah, 100% Chameleon. Like, this is just gonna go. I could lower the difficulty, but for some reason I decided lowering the difficulty back then was more of a bitch move than 100% Chameleon. I don't know why. But I'm doing the Dark Brotherhood stuff. I'm playing through that still, and I'm like, I wanna actually like get the rewards for being sneaky and doing things the right way without actually having to fully engage with the game's stealth mechanics. And I could just cast an invisibility spell to get the same results, but this does the same thing, except you don't have to worry about recasting it when you zone into a new area or anything.
Oh, I forget where I'm at. I'm like right. I did a misdirection for the Thieves Guild. So I'm like right in the middle or so, like maybe slightly above the middle of the quest line.
Did you have to get like the spring heel jackboots yet? I can't remember when that happened.
Not yet.
Okay. I don't remember when that is.
That sounds familiar.
The misdirection is where you have to go steal a mage's staff to get that the guard guy away from the waterfront district.
Oh yeah. Okay. Like. Again, I'm not gonna harp in on it too much, but I really love this game. I forgot how much I loved it. I'm playing through it again. I'm like, you just live on the internet for fucking 20 years and you see all the memes and you just remember the game being less good than it is. Your brain does get rotted by memes.
My YouTube algorithm is being flooded by Oblivion videos now.
So do you still like the game? Because I wasn't sure you'd actually like it because it's 1, old, 2, janky, and I think it's like Bethesda at their best, where they just let you do stupid shit and get away with it. Like, apparently Morrowind was even crazier. You could just like boost your jump so high you could literally like jump halfway across the fucking map. I think that's when they're at the best.
Start of Morrowind, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, I never did either. I think I made it to the second town down to the south once, but it was too dense for me, and it was so dated, I couldn't stand playing it, so. And I tried to go back to play Morrowind, like, 2008, like, right after. I remember, I played Oblivion, I was like, that was really good, like, I haven't played anything like this before. You know what I need? I need more Oblivion. And so I tried to find, like, Oblivion simulacrums. I bought a game called Two Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
I tried playing that.
2 was pretty good.
I didn't play Two Worlds 2. It wasn't out yet, but I played the first one a bit. And it was so janky. And I
heard the first one was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, like, we talk about Oblivion being janky. It has nothing on the first Two Worlds. Like, you'll be fighting wolves on some fucking hills, and they won't even be in your vicinity. They'll still be biting you because they can't figure out hitboxes and how to calculate distances on hills and shit. And it's like,
there is a similar game coming out.
Well, yeah, but now they make them all the time, right?
Yeah. There's that fuck, what is it called? I forget.
Well, it's like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 kind of scratched that itch.
Yeah.
And I have the first game I could go back to if I really wanted. So I did get the Oblivion itch scratch, and then I got Oblivion, so it's like I'm scratching that to the bone now.
Tainted Grail.
I don't think I've heard about that.
There is a demo on PS5.
I'm fine. I don't have time for demos. But
I have time for demos. Yeah, you don't want the itch scratch that bad.
Well, it's being scratched by Oblivion.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that
don't
itch
need
is,
it when you're having the scratch currently.
I'm scratching that itch so good, I'm fucking touching my spine. It's like that itch is gone, man. So I don't know, really enjoying it. I was kind of keen to see how Jared.
Yeah, I'm still I'm level 10. I have probably 2-3 levels banked right now that I'm not really trying to level up yet.
Yeah.
Just do random shit.
Well, because what you want to do,
skills.
right, is you want to go and you want to get like trainers to train your stuff. Because there's some skills that still suck to level. Like I've been training up block. Because I don't want to just sit there in a corner and let someone hit me and level up my block. I ain't doing that this time. I paid a trainer to level up my sneak a bit. Like I've been trying to get trainers to level stuff up.
I did the glitch with the sneak. I was like, you know what, fuck this.
Wait, there's a glitch for sneak?
Yeah, if you go to the Skooma Den,
yeah,
you can just go to pickpocket them. They have no like threshold where they'll go report you.
Oh, see,
you pickpocket them, exit, pickpocket, keep doing that over and over.
I haven't played this game in so long. I forgot all these fucking tricks, man.
Well, you did the lock picking.
Yeah. I forgot that one too. And then you told me about it. I'm like, yeah, I'll go try it. I was sitting there in a dungeon. I was picking a lock. I already had the skeleton key. Because you can't. I don't think you can level up your lockpick when you have the skeleton key. I remember that from the original. So I dropped the skeleton key on the ground, and then I sat there. I tried that thing, and it leveled up. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing this. And I got my lockpick up to 100, and it doesn't take that long. It really doesn't. And then
if you're good at mashing, it doesn't really take long.
Okay, so it would take Greg a long time, but I did it in like 5 minutes. And I hit 100, picked up my skeleton key, and I've just been auto-completing every lock since. I'm like, this is the way it was meant to be. Just fuck that minigame.
Yeah, now I'm level 10, I should probably go get this skeleton key.
I like that Oblivion just allows you to fuck you out of most gameplay elements. There's a few things you're stuck into doing, but I don't know. It lets you feel like you're just making your own choices through gameplay, and that's, I don't know. That's something that was really like popular and hailed as a sort of emerging gameplay design a long time ago, and it kind of fell off.
Once you figure out the trick to block picking, I haven't broken a lockpick since like the beginning of the game.
Bro, I've been playing this game, like this is my third playthrough, and I still don't know this lock picking trick. I might just not have the patience for it. I don't know. There's people that are like, you'll hear a click when I'm like, there's a click every time I fucking put it up. What are you doing?
Basically, you just hold up, and if it's the slow one, you can hold up. Just hold up on that thing. And you see, like, if it doesn't move at all, you just press X to lock it in place.
That's probably right. I just always get the skeleton key. I'm like, I don't need to pick locks before level fucking like 10 anyways. What are they gonna have in them? So, yeah. So Greg, you did a thing.
Yeah, I'm here. I did.
So you've got something to say.
I've beaten Baldur's Gate 3.
You got something to say.
What? What? Oh, what?
That
You're
game
trying
is
to lead.
That game is a what out of 10?
Oh, that's a 10 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10 game.
It's
So fucking good.
It's your game of the year 2023.
I didn't play it in 2023.
It doesn't matter. Look back on the 2023 games. Is it the best game of that year?
What did I have for 2023? Doom Eternal, probably.
I have no earthly idea,
forget.
honestly. Let me go look. Gaming.
It definitely wasn't Baldur's Gate 3, but it should have been, because, oh my god.
Oh,
that
sorry,
game.
never mind. It's Starfield. That's your game of the year.
Oh, get out of here.
Uh,
I didn't even give that game an 8, I don't think.
Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Street Fighter 6, Lies of P, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Alan Wake, Final Fantasy 16. That's got to be your GOTY, right? Diablo 4,
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate
man.
3. Actually, here's a legit potential contender. Resident Evil 4,
It probably
Hogwarts
was
Legacy,
Resident Evil 4.
Dead
I don't
Space.
think I played Resident Evil 4 that year either, though.
It doesn't
well.
matter. It doesn't matter. Just say it. Just admit it.
You can't not play a game
Yes, you can.
and then say it's game of the year.
Yes, I can. I do all the time.
That's bad. That's
No, it's
bad.
not. Why?
You got bad garbage opinions if you're doing that.
No, absolutely not.
Because then you're just listening to what people are saying online, and you're like, yeah, they're probably right.
Well,
I don't know any better, but they're
do you-
probably right.
Do you have a goldfish brain? Can you not make up your own opinion? Are you legitimately saying, like, I can't play, like, if I don't play a game this year, I can't go back to it next year, finally play it, and go, no, this game was better or worse than what they said.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying that if you retroactively play it,
Yeah.
which is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I
Oh.
didn't play it that year, so therefore it wasn't my game of that year.
Okay, well, is it the best game of 2023?
Oh, yeah, hands down.
Okay.
Better than Resident Evil 4 even, and I think Resident Evil 4, along with Resident Evil 2, were like just the best remakes.
So, who told you that was Game of the Year 2023?
Oh my god, here we go.
Who was right about Baldur's Gate 3? Remember, I remember
friend,
this.
Mason from work. He you know what? He told me from day one.
I
should
remember.
have listened to him.
I remember telling you Baldur's Gate 3.
Mason, if you're listening, you were right.
Mason,
you were spot on.
You've got a weird list trying to say Nathan, but I'll accept that apology. So I remember we were on the podcast. I was telling you this is definitely Game of the Year, and you're just like, you're just saying that because it's Baldur's Gate. And to be fair, I'm pretty sure that every year there's been a Baldur's Gate game.
Icon on PlayStation is Jahira.
She's my babe. She's my girl.
You're clearly biased. I can't just blindly believe you.
I'm biased
What do I have, a
in
goldfish
favor
brain?
of quality. No, I'm not biased. I'm honest. Greg's going to try to rag me that Jahira is one of my oldest waifus. It ain't going to work. Rebecca knows. Rebecca knows she's number 2 to Jahira.
So I got to be honest. After playing with Jahira,
She's not that good.
what do you see in her?
She's not that good in that game.
Geralt.
In that
Geralt,
game, her and Minsk were from the previous ones, right?
Yeah, she's okay.
Because she's like the mama duck in that fucking game.
She
got
is.
some mommy issues.
She wasn't the mommy when I played. She was younger. I swear. I'm not a freak. She just aged out. Like this is the reverse. Like this is a reverse dude who like gets an anime waifu when they're 15 and they're still kind of partial to her when they're 30. It's like, no, I swear we were the same age when she became my waifu. It's just she hasn't aged and I have. This is the opposite. It's like, okay, like she was always older than me, but now she's like way older. She got wrinkles now. No, she just like her character has evolved and changed. She was always the fucking sassy combative fighter chick who wasn't gonna put up with your shit. But she had a better, more fleshed out, more central role, especially in Baldur's Gate 2. Actually, Jahira is such a weird character. Like, you've got issues if she's your waifu, because in the first game she was married to another dude.
She was married.
She was married. She's married to an MP or a recruitable fighter called Khalid. They would join in a group, and like they're two of the first companions you can get. I think you can get Zar and Montron on the road in the first area sooner, and then you can recruit Jaheira and Khalid in Baldur's like in the Friendly Arm Inn really early on. So she's like,
wasn't she like one of the people that your quote unquote dad told you to go find?
Yes. Your foster father tells you to. They're his friends. Your foster father is like, okay. Do we really want to get into Baldur's Gate spoilers here?
We're just one question.
What?
Before you go off on tangents. And later, if we run out of things to talk about, by all means, go off on the Baldur's Gate tangent. I'm deep into the fucking lore, right?
Okay, yeah.
But for the sake of brevity.
Brevity? What is this?
I don't think Jaheira is top, let's say top half. We'll say top. I think she's bottom half in this cast.
Definitely.
Was she
definitely
top half in the previous games?
Top three in Baldur's Gate 2. Well, Rebecca might not think so. There's so many good characters, it's hard. Rebecca, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to think about it because I don't think you've got this like ready in your mind. Rank the best like 5-6 characters in Baldur's Gate 2. See, it's hard for Rebecca because she's only played the evil route, so like I've played
part of the good route.
Yeah. She's not as partial. See, I prefer the good route. She prefers the evil route. But here's the thing. Okay.
So like,
Jaheira is like a neutral fighter druid in Baldur's Gate 2. And multi-class is a weird thing in Baldur's Gate 2 because every point of experience you get, you're splitting it in two and dividing it between your two classes. So you're leveling super slow. You're always behind the other characters as you level up. But thing is, in Baldur's Gate 2, it's going off the second edition. So once you get above level 9, it takes like 250,000 experience for you to level up. Like if you're a fighter, to go from 9 to 10, and there's 250,000 every level after that. So you might only be able to get to like, I can't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head. There's an experience cap of like 1.81 million or something in original Baldur's Gate 2. And it goes up to like a ridiculous amount, like 4 million or some shit in Baldur's Gate 2 Throne of Baal. So in Baldur's Gate 2, you could become like a 13th level fighter, right? Or you could become like a level 11, 12 fighter mage. And it really hurts.
Isn't anyway near the question I asked, just for the record.
I'll get to it.
Just
No, this is leading to it. I haven't lost my train of thought, I promise. So when you're playing through some parts of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, being multi-class is painful. Because like, especially in Baldur's Gate 1, some of your characters will be level 3. Like you get Viconia in your party, she's a level 3 cleric, and she doesn't get a lot of hit points, but she's had 3 level ups. And you're still a fighter mage, right? And you're level 1-1. You're still rocking like 11 fucking hit points. And even your weak ass cleric has like 24. And you get bit by a wolf bad, you're seeing that fucking game over screen. But by the end of like Baldur's Gate 2, that gap is closed because most of the hit points are front loaded in the first 9 levels too. So Jaheira is a fighter druid, and she's kind of slow, but as you get deeper into the game, all the other single class characters who've been doing pretty well up to this point, like hit a brick wall in terms of progression. And your multi-class characters are still moving along at a good pace, and they start catching up in terms of single class power with your single class characters, except they've got 2 classes. So all of a sudden, your Jaheira goes from, she's kind of like a low end cleric, she's a little better than a cleric in melee combat, a lot worse than them at spellcasting. You don't want to put her in too much danger, but she can kind of hold the line defensively, but she's not killing everything. And then she's like, oh, guess what, bitches? I can cast 5th level spells now. Iron Skins, Insect Plague. I can do a fucking full heal like your clerics can. Also, now I'm getting fighter HLA, so I get greater whirlwind attack. Oh, did you put that fucking +2 scimitar with an extra attack around on me? Great, now I've got fucking 4 attacks around normal and 10 attacks around if I use my HLA. I am now like one of the best fighters in your party. I can summon elemental princes. I can fucking debuff and damage entire groups of enemies and send them into a panic with Insect Plague. I can fully heal everyone, and I can just nope any number of fucking physical damage attacks I get because I've got Iron Skins. She becomes an absolute fucking goddess towards the end of Baldur's Gate 2. And, like, multi-class is really good if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing and you're patient, it's just god-tier shit. My main character in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, the one I prefer to play in the good party, is a fighter mage. He does the same thing, except he's got more linear progression. He'll do shit like, he'll be getting bullied by wolves early on. You don't want, because he can't wear armor and cast spells, and you don't have, like, robes of the Archmagi early on, or bracers of defense, so you don't want to take the hits, but you also don't want to not be able to cast spells, so you're kind of sucking at two things in different ways. And then you start getting shit like mirror image, and half the enemy attacks are just whiffing because they're popping your illusory doubles, or you've got fucking blur, or you've got stone skin, and now you're just noping fucking physical damage. It's great. You just become god tier. And to have both those characters do that is fucking great. And if they're in a romance, now you just got a real fucking power couple. It's awesome. It's fucking great from a gameplay perspective. And it's weird, right? Because she's married in the first game, and her husband is like a high constitution fighter who has a stutter. He's such a beta. He's a beta bitch. She clearly is. She wears the pants in that relationship. There's no question about it. And then he dies at the beginning of Baldur's Gate 2. He gets killed by the antagonist, who is doing nasty surgery, manipulative, soul draining, evil shit to all your party members. He's experimenting on you. And her husband dies. And I never liked her husband in the first. I played through the game with him before. He's perfectly serviceable, but he has, like, Baldur's Gate 1 didn't have great story and great character development, but they put little things in there.
Man, she doesn't mention her husband once. In this
he died. He died like 200 years ago. What do you expect her to say?
Yeah, I mean, nothing, I guess.
Plus, if she romanced the main character from Baldur's Gate 2, he could have literally become a god. That's a little overshadowed her fucking wussy husband from the first game, don't you think?
Well, I mean, she didn't say either, so
well, yeah,
whatever, I guess.
Yeah, no, see, that's the thing, like, they didn't cater to what her character could have been and could have done in those other two games. Like, I played through Baldur's Gate 3, I played her Chihira, I went through her dialogue. She doesn't really talk about what she did in her past. She talks about the Harpers, and she alludes to some things, but she doesn't say, oh yeah, me and my fucking travel companions, man, we went through a fucking tower that was built into the ground by some priests of Helm, and they got corrupted, and the whole fucking thing was like a giant fucking maze filled with captured fucking demons, and yeah, we fucking kind of defeated Demo fucking Gorgon in Mortal Kombat and banished him from the prime material plane. Oops, must have slipped my fucking mind that I'm an epic level fucking druid fighter who literally could just fucking break demigods.
Yeah, she should have brought that up.
Forgot to tell ya, I must have gotten rusty, because now I'm sitting here casting fucking level 4 druid spells. So, so that's, they had to make her relevant to the game at the expense of sacrificing what a fucking ridiculously broken, overpowered character she was, and, like, hey, maybe you were the evil party. Maybe you fucking didn't even take her out of the first dungeon. Maybe you didn't bring her along at all. Which you're dumb, she's true neutral. She will tolerate the evil party and the good party. She doesn't like extremes, right? She'll get a little pissy if you're too moral or too immoral. But she doesn't, as far as I know, she doesn't have any like hard-coded conflicts with any of the party members in Baldur's Gate 2. So you can bring her with any party. She's a solid defensive character. She gets insanely good late game. Insect Plague is great for any fucking party. There's no, in my opinion, my humble opinion.
I only saw that spell once with the hag fight.
It's not as good as in Baldur's Gate 2 or 3.
It is definitely annoying. It's
annoying, but like in Baldur's Gate 2, it sends like a cloud of insects at an enemy. It prevents them from casting spells outright if they're affected by it. It spreads to all nearby enemies. It has a chance to make them panic, which means they run around confused and they can't really fight back effectively. Some of the hardest fights early on in Baldur's Gate 2 were like parties of other adventurers, of other NPCs with character classes. And you could break their entire formation just by targeting one of them at the edge of the group with Insect Plague. It would spread to all their party members. Now all their dangerous, nasty spellcasters can't cast shit. You can run up to them and gank them before they recover. Their fighters aren't able to stop you because there's a good chance they're running around panicked. It won fights. It won fights outright.
Oh, very
and
nice.
This is before she becomes good, Greg. This is before she becomes good. So, but yeah, her first husband's a little bit of a bitch.
For whatever it's worth, ain't that interesting.
Baldur's Gate 3. No, I agree. So this is me not being biased, right? I agree. Her husband's a little bit of a wussy. He's got a lot of hit points. He doesn't have a lot of strength. If he takes too much damage, like if his health gets low in Baldur's Gate 1, he will panic. He can fail a morale check, and you'll lose control of him, and he'll start running away from combat, which doesn't usually happen every fight or even regularly, but when it happens, it's not a good thing because you don't want your fucking lead fightery tank guy running away. And sometimes I'll say the line "better part of valor," right? Is that what
he says?
That's his morale break line when he fucking his morale breaks and he starts running away from like, better part of valor. It's like, you're such a bitch, get back there and tank! Your wife's a healer, what are you doing? She'll get to you eventually. So he deserved to die. And there's better fighters, right? So what I would always do, they come as a pair. So if you kick one out of your party, they're both gonna leave. But here's the thing. When you kick a character out of your party, they go and talk to you and they're like, well, I think you're making a mistake, but it's your choice. They usually something along those lines. If you kick them out of your party and then leave the area, they can't zone out to chase you and talk to you. So you can remove a character you don't want and keep the character you do want, or you could just kill him. You can just take Khalid and run him into a fucking horde of basilisks and let him die. And then Jaheir would be like, no! But then, they didn't really develop the story much because Baldur's Gate 1, and she won't really say anything the rest of the game. You can even go into a side building yourself and kill him, and she won't do anything. She doesn't see it. What do you expect her to do? Anyways, you're the Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. You are a Baal spawn. You are the child of the dead god of murder, Baal.
Spoils.
It's 20 years. This is past their time. That's where you're ascending to the throne of Baal. It's in the DLC's name right there, and she's one of those your foster father. He adopted you because they him and some Harpers raided some Baalist cult compound, and they had a bunch of kids there that they were doing well, whatever. It doesn't matter what they were doing. They're fucking Baal cultists. They're bad people. They shouldn't have kids. And you get rescued, and you're raised in Candlekeep, a sanctuary sealed off from the outside world. And so, Baldur's Gate 2, Throne of Baal tries to do some of that nature versus nurture argument. They do such a really good job, in my opinion. If you play the good party, you've got a paladin who's super awesome and powerful called Keldorn. He will kind of take on this elderly father fucking attitude towards you, where he knows what you are, but he doesn't condemn you for it. And he if you do bad shit, it's on. He'll leave your party and attack. But if you don't, and you're doing good shit and you're trying to get a hold of it, he's like that second father figure. It's really great that they had the audacity to put that in a game after you've already completed a game and saved another city from some bad shit. You're there's a very real possibility that a player might rebel and be like, fuck you, old man. I know what I'm fucking doing, alright? This is my first goat fuck. So, and she's kind of keeping an eye on you too, because she's a Harper. She's a friend of your dad. They know what you are, and they know what your kind has the proclivity to do. And Baldur's Gate 2, Throne of Baal, they do that too. You're doing the ascension shit, right? You are one of the last Baal spawn left, and you've got your own pocket plane that you can just create now, because you're getting closer to divinity. There's only so much Baal divine energy to split, not a lot of people to split between anymore. And so you're facing these trials, and occasionally interdimensional beings will come there, and they will test your mettle, and they're really doing morality plays. You played anything like Knights of the Old Republic, you'll be familiar with some of this shit, but they're you've done a lot of good things. You're the hero of you're the hero of Baldur's Gate, you saved this person, you saved that person, but isn't it curious that at every step of your journey, everything you've done to achieve all these good ends has still resulted in you killing a lot of people? Doesn't that concern you, child of Baal? spawn of the god of murder. Like, are you not just doing what's in your blood by a different means? Does it really matter how you categorize it? Like, oh no, I just killed all these thousands of people across my adventures for the name of good. You still killed them. Like, that's what you do. That's what you are. And you go through these. It's so great. It's so great. And
yeah, but
any character, any NPC in your orbit. Well, I shouldn't say any. Some of them don't play up to that role as good as others. But like Viconia is a really good character. She doesn't appear in Baldur's Gate 3, but maybe she should have. She's a dark elf. She would have aged into it better, I think. But the problem with Viconia is she's one of those characters with like a good and evil split. She's nasty. She's a nasty bitch too. Like, if you try to romance her, she's from like Dark Elven society, so they're very matriarchal and males are inferior to them, and you know, their god is a fucking like demon queen of spiders, and you know, betrayal and betrayal's like a thing that just their society does. It's part of their social hierarchy. Viewing each other as assets to be exploited and used instead of people you can rely on. That whole trust thing isn't there. And if you're like, she'll flirt with you, she'll do naughty things with you, and then like the next like banter conversation you have, she'll be talking about how she like, you know, when I got to the surface, I didn't have anything. The sunlight destroyed all my equipment. I didn't have anything. Everybody hated me. So, you know, I'd have to do some shit to get by. Not everyone was so racist enough that they'd turn away the allures of dark elves. And she'd tell you about how she like would lick the sweat off this fat merchant. She's goading you. She's fucking with you, right? She's trying to get you jealous. No, I'm not joking. She's trying to fucking get you jealous and push you away, telling you about all the nasty shit she did with other people. And it doesn't work, and she just gets mad at you and fucking leaves, and then she's sweet on you again later. Like, her romance is so up and down, it's great. And then eventually you can convince her that, you know, you're legit good, and she'll actually have an alignment change, she'll fall in line. Or you can be bad, like somebody I know.
Me?
Who? Rebecca, and you can play into it, and you'd be like, nah, I'm gonna fucking win this ascension thing. I'm gonna be the last one. I'm gonna take my dad's shit. I'm the next guy. And then she's just like, oh, I'll be your queen at your side. Do your little fucking evil leather-clad dominatrix. Oh, it's gonna be so fucking great. And it's great characters. Great characters. Like, Baldur's Gate 2 is fucking just littered with great characters. Absolutely fucking thick with them.
Is the characters' arcs better than Baldur's Gate 3?
The best Baldur's Gate 2 arcs are about as good as the best Baldur's Gate 3 arcs. I think it depends. Like, I know you're my age. Well, not anymore, youngin'. I'm 40 now.
Oh my God.
Young man. When you get to my age, maybe you can opine about games like this. But no, like,
oh my God.
I don't want to be like an old school purist. I think it does add something when you can like see the characters' facial expressions, when they're well animated, when every line is voiced, when the production values are this high. There's something to be said for it, right? I'll admit my bias here. I think I treasure the characters and the banter and all the shit in Baldur's Gate 2 more. But that might not be something that everybody does, because the production values in Baldur's Gate 3 do help. They do help. Like, Asterian's whining and pouting and foot stamping. Like, the whole fucking scene I told you about knocking the temple down on him, right? I showed you a clip for that.
Yeah. Which is pretty good.
You can't do that with a fucking, like, a 2D sprite that's, you know, X pixels by X pixels. It's not the same. The production value does add a quality.
Then they put out the enhanced versions of those games.
They're still 2D sprites. You're not getting like 3D full, you know, fully animated, lip synced, hair physics, all that shit. It's not the same. The writing is top notch. It's not quite Planescape Torment, but the characters are arguably just as good or better than Planescape Torment. Like, if you ever did the romance with Anna and shit, and had some of the deep philosophical discussion. I don't know how far you went into the NPC or the companions in Planescape Torment, but like,
Yeah, sure.
You know, you have Dakon and you're solving that puzzle for him, and then you reveal that, you know, an old past life of you gave him that puzzle, and it was mostly just to shut him up and distract him so he'd fucking stay useful and loyal to you and keep trying to solve this fucking riddle that had no meaning behind it. Because you thought he was useful for a sword. Do you remember that?
Yeah, not really.
Okay, well, they had really great writing in Baldur's Gate 2, and I think it stands the test of time with the best of writing. Again, you know, production values do sell things like, you know, Dragon Age Origins. You can make an argument, and I'd accept it if you made this argument that Dragon Age Origins, their production values help the characterization better than the sprites in Baldur's Gate 2 did, but the writing's really good. Everyone has their own little story arcs, you know, their own little things to overcome. They're not all great. Animan sucks. Animan always sucked. Animan always will suck. Which is terrible because he's like the only male character you can romance if you're... God, they really don't... Do they even have any other options besides Animan in Baldur's Gate? That's probably the biggest thing. If you're a female protagonist, your choice is Animan or celibacy, really. I guess one of the new enhanced...
They know their market.
In the enhanced edition, I think you can romance Dorn. I don't remember his romance being particularly interesting, though. And you can romance a female vampire named Hexic, but she's like a single-class thief, and they tried to make her more useful by making her a vampire and giving her, like, you know, vampire's abilities and stat boosts, but at the end of the day, she's still a single-class thief. If she was a fighter thief, we'd be going. She'd be something special, but single-class thief just doesn't cut it. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, really good, and if you're inching towards this, yes, I recommend playing Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. They're not.
Yeah.
If you ever get the time and the itch, like, hey, you know what? Don't talk shit. You went back and played Dungeon Keeper 2 out of nowhere. It could happen.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I'm not going to be too surprised by your taste one way or another. Baldur's Gate 1 is the weakest of the trilogy by far. But I still think it's worth playing because a lot of the events, a lot of the backstory, that carries over. And even if the characters aren't really, like, commenting on it too much in Baldur's Gate 1 and you're not getting a whole lot of character interactions and shit out of that, you do get those interactions in Baldur's Gate 2. And it's nice knowing what they're talking about and what you did and having all the backfill in your head for that. So I think those games are pretty good and aged pretty well as far as CRPGs go. Like, I don't know, there's just something about, like, a late 90s 10 out of 10 RPG that kind of keeps it playable even 30 years later, 25 years later. So, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, I think it's fantastic. They didn't do Jaheira justice. I still think Astarion is the best character in Baldur's Gate 3. He's so entertaining, like, all the time. All the time. His little interjections, his whining, he's just great. And I'll admit, like, half of that at least is the voice actor. He nails it. They
did really good.
And it's got me really wanting to go back and play that again because, you know, they got that new patch out. Maybe I want to try out this Hexblade, see how this goes. I don't know. We'll see. But
the only new one I really tried out was the Star. What was that? Star Druid, I think.
And, like, I think they balance that game pretty well. Like, not only can you respec pretty much any of your companions into whatever you need them to be, which is just a good design choice in my opinion. Because some characters in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 might be interesting, but, like I played a playthrough with a bard named Herr Dallas, and he was really good through Shadows of Am, and I'm like, man, why don't people talk about him more? He's, like, really good. He's got so many fucking spells early on, and he's just... He's really fucking, you know, he's carrying. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, do I need a fighter mage thief? I could just have a fighter thief instead for my evil protagonist. Cause he's able to cast confusion and all these buffs, and then his progression kind of stops, and he doesn't get above 6 level spells.
I was waiting for you to say, and then he dies.
No, he doesn't die. Well, unless you let him, but that's kind of true for everybody. He doesn't get above higher than 6 level spells, and then everyone else is is starting to get them real top tier spells and doing things like chain contingencies and horrid wilting and shit. And it's like, yeah, like you're nice for buffing, but you know what? Edwin now has like 12 level fucking 4 spell slots. What the fuck do I need you casting these spells
12?
for? He gets ridiculous. Edwin is a evil mage in the first 2 Baldur's Gate games, and he basically making an NPC single class mage, or a main character single class mage, I should say, completely obsolete, because he's like a conjurer, which means he's got access to like the best bonus spell school, and he's got like the weakest restriction, and he gets an extra spell per level, and then he's got an amulet, a unique amulet that you cannot remove, that gives him another extra spell slot for all spell levels. So he's a character you can recruit, and if you recruit him, he's a specialist mage with more spells than any other comparable character can get, and he's got good enough stats, like max fucking like really high intelligence. His other stats are pretty good too. And it's like, well, he's just the best mage in the game. He's so good that you could barely make a Bale spawn that's better. So what's the point? So, yeah, Edwin kind of just becomes like so powerful magically. It's like, well, I don't really need this bard doing half of what he can do. Like, he's casting shit just fine. So, fuck, what do I do with this character slot now? So, but, oh well. Like, and so, Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have that problem. Like, all your companions are pretty much good and usable. It's just, some of them aren't winners, alright? I don't think anybody has, like, a strong...
I'm not saying she's bad. I'm just saying compared to the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's noticeably not as top tier.
Well, it's not that Jaheira's weak. In my opinion, the problem with Jaheira is she's not interesting.
No, I never said she was weak.
Okay. She's not that interesting. Like,
yeah.
I think Shadowheart is overrated in terms of, like, how interesting as a character she is, but she does have an arc. She does have a story. You can make choices with her
most
story
of
progression.
Jaheira's story is find Minx, don't let Minx get hurt.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the story, which is
controversial opinion.
Sure,
I think. Okay.
I'm sure for fans of the series, she was a fantastic Easter egg.
It was nice to see her, but they didn't really do anything with her. Like, the only way they could have really made her interesting as a character is to have something involving, like, the Bale spawn from the first game. And I can see why they didn't want to go there. That's like, okay, you make Mass Effect 4, and Shepard is in there as, like, a side character. That ain't gonna work. The second Shepard appears in Baldur's Gate 4. Mass Effect 4, it's like, no, I want to be playing Shepard. Who is this new character? Fuck off. So I can see why they didn't want to.
They kind of did that with Dragon Age.
Kinda, but I don't, like, Hawk had only been in one game, right? So I don't think it was that crazy, and Hawk kind of appears not midway, but like when you finally get access to the full map. You've been playing a while by the time you see Hawk. And then when you actually have Hawk like doing things in combat, it's even later still, so I can see why they didn't, but you can't separate Jaheira from the first 2 games. You just can't. And if you're not going to have content from the first 2 games in there, and there are Easter eggs, you haven't played them, so you might not have caught up on some of them, but I saw them. But no, Jaheira needed more references to the first 2 games, and this game was rightfully trying to do its own thing, I think. I mean, maybe not rightfully, but they did it so successfully, I can't say it was wrong, right? So
no, they did good.
It's not like I love Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, obviously. But Baldur's Gate 3 didn't need to reference hardly anything from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 to be good. And it really didn't reference that much. There's more shit if you do the Dark Urge path, but I'm not going to get into that because that's super spoilerific, and unlike Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, it's not past the, 10, 20 year fucking spoiler gap, but yeah, Jaheira wasn't put in a position where that character is going to thrive. She was fan service. That's what she was. Granny fan service. which is a very limited
Nathan,
kink.
Hot Nathan Granny fan service, right up his alley.
Okay, like no, I caught the vapors,
especially
right?
Especially now that you're old. Am I
now
right?
that I'm 40, I mean, I don't have wrinkles yet. My obesity is fighting the wrinkles, right?
Jahira making it so you don't have wrinkles?
Yeah, she's keeping me
using
young.
some of that magic, some of that Druid magic.
She summons my elemental prince once in a while. But no, like I got a kick out of it. I liked having her in my party. Like I was willing to dump Shadowheart for Jahira, especially after Act 2. But like Jahira joins too late. She doesn't. There's not enough of the first 2 games in the 3rd game to really make her have interesting plot points. I can totally see why a normal person not tainted by nostalgia wouldn't bring her along. They didn't do her a service. And I think Minsk is overrated as a character too, right? He's funny, he's iconic, but he's a gag character.
He's also very much fan service.
Yeah,
because he has like almost no character build out other than
I came out of the box.
Dumb, life is simple.
Yeah,
Which at one point Minthara was like, I kind of envy that.
I have a miniature giant space hamster. That's my gimmick. I tell you what, in Mass Effect 2, when you can buy a miniature giant space hamster, and if you interact with it in your captain's quarters on the Normandy, it will make the fucking, like, he has this in his inventory. One of the downsides of Minx in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 is he's got this fucking miniature giant space hamster. It's his animal companion. And it is a nice gimmick. Like, just hearing him scream, "Go for the eyes, boo!" It's, you know, it's funny. You know, he's not going to wear out his welcome in Baldur's Gate 1 or 2. But one of your quick item slots is permanently occupied by this hamster. Which, you know,
is that gameplay affecting somehow?
If you want to have, like, a wand, a potion, and, I don't know, maybe another potion or some other activated item in your quick item slot, you can only have 2. Not a huge deal. You can go into your inventory and swap it out, but game don't pause when you're in your inventory. Now, I never needed Minx to really use, like, 3 different quick item slots. But it is a thing. Like, I'm not going to pretend it's not potentially a downside. It never affected me, but, you know, it is something it is a little bit of a demerit. But if you tried to remove this hamster from his inventory, it would just squeak at you. And I think it gave you, like, a little text saying, like, Minx scurries from your grasp quickly, and there's so much, or Boo scurries from your grasp quickly, and there's ever so much of Minx to hide in. You just have no hope of getting this hamster away. So
there's ever so much of Minx to hide in.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And so, it makes like a little fake ass squeak. It's not like a recorded animal squeaking. It's like someone saying the word squeak, and then it's like Alvin and the Chipmunk, you know, squeak. And they have that same exact sound effect in Mass Effect 2 if you buy that fucking hamster and you interact with its cage on the Normandy. It's just squeak. I'm like, oh man, that popped me so hard. That popped me so hard as a Baldur's Gate fan. You can imagine. I was like, that's brilliant. That is the exact kind of homage that Minx deserves in these games. He doesn't deserve to be a playable character again. I don't think he's ever that, especially like, okay, Baldur's Gate 3 companions are some of the most well-written and developed characters in recent gaming. Like, Asterion has got himself an arc, Shadowheart's got herself an arc, Lae'zel, her too, but her arc kind of, I think her arc kind of like hits its climax earlier than the rest. But she, you know, she overcomes kind of a little bit her bigotry, and she makes some moves. She makes some moves.
A little bit.
She doesn't ever become a nice person, but she becomes somewhat less racist. This is what we're settling for with Lae'zel, okay? She's got to be true to herself. And when you have like cardboard cutouts like Minx and Jahira alongside him, it's like, It's kind of like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 making a multiplayer, like an open multiplayer game, and then only populating that game with your own custom created characters and playing like entirely with a party of pre-generated characters. Like, are they more powerful? Can you customize them to be exactly what you want? Sure. But you're losing a lot because you just don't have the companions. They don't have the banter. So, That's why, like, Baldur's Gate 3 is multiplayer, right? We could start a multiplayer campaign and play through that game with all, but, like, I don't think I'd want to, really. It feels like it wouldn't be as fun without the characters.
Why?
Because I want to play with the game generated companions, right?
Oh, you like them that much?
Yeah. I mean, okay, like maybe after we've all beaten the game, and if we want to do something for fun, like on the podcast, I know there's a trophy for beating it on a certain difficulty as a tactician mode. Maybe that would be cool doing as a group. I don't think you have to beat it on honor mode for the platinum. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I looked at the trophy list for that. But if we all like played through it on tactician mode after playing the normal playthrough, that would be pretty fun, I think. I don't know if you can just like play the characters the game gives you, like someone plays Asterion, someone plays, because I know you can select them as your protagonist. I don't know if you can all just...
Yeah, you can select them as your origin character, but...
Yeah, but I don't know.
No idea for the multi.
Yeah, because that might be fun. And I don't know how they interact.
You might be able to do that.
You might. And I don't know if they keep their interactions or how that would all work in a multiplayer game. Maybe it's worth testing. I don't know, but do you know when Rebecca and or Jared will finish Baldur's Gate 3? Like,
yeah,
heat death of the universe. So, it's a thought. It's a thought, but I think my primary way of enjoying that game would be single player with the companions and the banter, because it's just that good. It's that good. All right, so that's I got what I wanted out of Greg. Him admitting I was right about Baldur's Gate 3, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I have to Mason for my work. He was right on.
Mason, Mason is...
That's your birthday present if I say Nathan.
That's my code name, Mason? Okay.
Mason, yeah.
I'm looking back on 2023, though. 2023 was a good fucking year, man. I think Jared played Spider-Man 2. I'm pretty sure he liked that. I haven't played Street Fighter 6, but people seem to like it. Liza P. People are deranged. They like that shit for some reason. Alan Wake 2, I heard that was pretty good. Final Fantasy 16, okay, it can't all be winners. Diablo 4, I still like it. I don't have to be married to Diablo 4 to still say I like it. Hi-Fi Rush, that won some awards, not my genre. Jedi Survivor, okay, they can't all be winners. Actually, I hated that game. I thought it was terrible. Horizon Call of the Mountain.
You be nice, sir.
Blasphemous 2. I am being nice. Wait, did I? Okay. Got 2 legendary rings, and they're both in like low-level areas, so they probably got 2 like Manald heals or some shit. It's my birthday game though, so if you want to give me like a Bull Kathos or Stone Jordan, I wouldn't complain. That should be damn proper of you, Baldur's Gate, or not Baldur's Gate, Diablo.
Gate.
It's in my brain now. It's in my brain. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 2. You know what? You play Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, you can hit me up. I'll give you build info. I'll tell you what to do.
Didn't you already write a guide for them?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I wrote a guide for the vanilla versions. I wrote guides for the enhanced editions. I went over each of those. Like, I did about a dozen playthroughs of that game for those guides. So, I put a lot of time into it.
I need another playthrough to properly do this Neoseeker guide justice, to be honest.
Probably. Like I told you a while back, I think in DMs on Facebook, like the way I would do it if I had the time, if I had a blank check, is I would do an evil party walkthrough, a good party walkthrough, and it'd be split around that. You can mix and match. There are shades of gray, but I try to structure it like that, so I could kind of just focus on the evil dialogue options and quest choice, and focus on the good ones, and players can decide on their own. Manald heal. I knew it was going to be 2 Manalds. Well, fuck you, Diablo. Birthday hater. Alrighty, so we got some other news. Been playing Oblivion. You can call me a cuck. I wanna reiterate this for you because you weren't here. This last week I've done 12,000 words over 4 pages, 200 map markers, which is about a fifth of the total map markers, even though I'm not one of the mappers. And I've done just all this ridiculous fucking work for a company that kind of just, yeah, they're not paying me real salary. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Like, it's bitch move, it's bitch behavior, I shouldn't do it. But I love Oblivion. So, I should be working more on AI, the Somnium Files. But I did put in a good bit of time on AI on Saturday and played through.
Oh, I haven't played any AI.
Oh, you didn't do any of the...
I stayed up to like 5 a.m. yesterday beating Baldur's Gate.
I mean, I'm not going to critique you because Baldur's Gate, but did you not even do any of the blue route?
I've done a little bit of the blue route, but that was like a week and a half ago.
So should we just not talk about it? Because Rebecca hasn't had time to play any blue route either. We can save it. We can save it.
We can skip it. Yeah.
We kind of sat here and talked about Baldur's Gate forever, so it's fine. We can do blue route some other time. I just played through it. I was finishing up some yellow route stuff and getting some trophies, and you kind of like undersold some of the events in yellow route, but I won't go into it. You kind of undersold some of the stuff there.
What?
Which was fun, because then I was like, oh, he fucking glossed over this shit. But, yeah, I got me some trophies in that game, making progress. It's good. Need to start working on that guide. I should just be like, I'm done. I think I'll do, since Rebecca's not here, I think I'll do Dark Brotherhood, and I'll just be like, alright, I'm done. Pay me more, I'll do more pages. If not, go away.
Aren't you getting paid per day? It's a time thing.
I thought it was like a week, and I've already done more than a week. So.
No, yeah, a week. Yeah, my bad.
So, you know what? You can pay me for a second week of Oblivion if you want.
Well, you need to hash that out at some point, no?
I ain't doing it for free.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, alright, I guess there are two really big news stories this week. Sorry, Jared, none of them have anything to do with Borderlands 4. Although there was a gameplay.
There was a thing for Borderlands 4.
Was it State of Play?
State of Play, yep.
Okay, I watched it on YouTube later. I can't remember, so I couldn't remember if it was a State of Play. I watched it on YouTube. I wasn't impressed. It looks like Borderlands 3. It really does. It looks like Borderlands 3.
Fun. It looks like there's more.
What is there, like movement. A glide?
Yeah, movement options.
Yeah, whatever.
They have a lash.
It's Borderlands 3.5, which is
Basically.
fine. And you know what? 3 months after launch, it'll be $10. I'll get it then. So it'll be a podcast game. No way I'm sinking $60 on this fucking thing.
They also moved up the date to September 12th.
Yeah. Well, it turns out they didn't need to, because Grand Theft Auto 6 ain't coming this year. It has been delayed to May 26, 2026, and this is my shocked face. Can you see my shocked face? It looks like my not shocked face, but that's just because of facial paralysis, not because I'm not actually shocked.
I'm actually smiling.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because that was one of my predictions.
You gotta predict! I gotta go look. I gotta go look at these predictions again. That was a good one to predict. I won't say like that's the hardest prediction to have made, but still, it's a good one. Nintendo will release the next Switch console in the fall, and it will cost $500. See, you were too specific. Because you were pretty close to the 500, but you said fall, so.
Yeah, I was.
But no, those are fun ones. Metroid Prime 4 will be a cross-gen game for Switch and Switch 2. Yeah, that's right. Square Enix will announce Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered, Chrono Trigger Remastered, or Final Fantasy 9. You thought, motherfucker! You thought you got that one. You thought you did. Because there was a story going around about how, what's his name? Dude.
Yuji Horii.
Yeah. I was mixing, like, Yoko Taro and Yuji Horii in my head. I was about to call him, like, Yuki Horii or something. Anyways, he was at, like, something in Naples, and he supposedly leaked that they're working on a Chrono Trigger remake, and then everyone ran with it, and they're like, oh, he leaked it. And then, apparently Sal from Gamatsu, like, got a hold of the video, and he went, that is not what happened in this video that was shared here.
Well, supposedly this wouldn't be the first time he would have leaked a game.
Well, I'm not, like, okay, I'll be honest, 100%. I'd be more surprised if Chrono Trigger doesn't get an HD 2D remake. Like, I think it's a thing. I don't know if it started or if it's going to start.
It's just like, There's just like a big pile of money sitting outside Square Enix's headquarters.
Yeah.
Like, here's some predictions, right? I'm not writing them down anywhere. We will get a Final Fantasy IX remake. We will get a Chrono Trigger remake. We will get a Final Fantasy Tactics remake. We will get Dragon Quest fucking 4 remake. We will get all that shit. We will get all that shit. It might be like we will get a Dragon Quest 8 port. This is all gonna happen. It's all gonna happen. It might be within 5 or 10 years, but it will all happen, I believe. I would be more surprised by any of that not happening than happening. By a significant degree. It's just, when, what console, what kind of remake will it be? Will it be a remaster? Will it be a port with fucking tassels on it? What, that's all up in the air. But they're gonna dip into this shit. So I'd be surprised if any of this doesn't happen. Sony will put out 3 first-party games in 2025, one of which will be Ghost of GOTY. This does not include any remasters. That kind of sounds like an easy one, or did when you made the predictions, but now it's like, it's May. We haven't gotten shit. Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, I guess Marathon counts. Even though it'll be on Xbox.
I don't want to give Sony credit for Bungie, and I don't want to give Xbox credit for Bethesda. You shouldn't be able to buy your way into this shit. Like, we should only give them praise when it's a studio that they've nurtured for 10 plus years.
It's still early.
Yeah.
We still got half a year yet.
It's just
not gonna happen, but
Sony's so fucking blinkered. Who even makes anything new or interesting for them? Housemarque? Like, I don't know. It's like, well, is it going to be The Last of Us 3, or is it going to be...
the weird thing is that I remember last year they were saying, oh yeah, we're going to have a big 2025.
Yeah, was that before they realized that none of their fucking live service games were going to fucking make any money? Or did all that shit fall off the wayside when they... You know what they're probably doing? They probably did have a slate of bullshit live service garbage that they were going to release this year. And then Concord happened, and they went, all right, we got to rejigger this. Yeah, we got to rejigger this shit. We got to Dragon Age Veilguard it and turn this into, like, single-player games. Because it's not going to sell for shit the way it is. And I still think Dragon Age Veilguard was good, all right? I still do. That wasn't a fluke. That wasn't me being contradictory. So, I still stand by that. Still an 8.5 RPG. I don't care if the one trans character had an annoying fucking chat with you one time. It doesn't fucking overwrite the rest of the shit that game did well. If I can cringe my way through Time Spinner and still give it a good grade for it being a good game 95% of the time, then I can do that with Dragon Age Veilguard. It's just funny, like, Baldur's Gate 3 has the same content, doesn't get any of the same criticism. And I'm like, were the lights just too bright for you fucking trolls to complain about it that hard? Like, did you realize no one was going to buy your fucking whining that this obvious 10 out of 10 masterpiece was actually woke garbage? Do you just not want to attach the woke garbage label to one of the best games made in the last 10 years?
Wasn't one of the big complaints about Dragon Age Veilguard was that the writing wasn't very good?
Yeah, the dialogue was kind of fucking campy and Whedonish at times.
I haven't played either game, so I can't really tell.
There was more modern vernacular, and yeah.
And if I had extra money, I would actually order a physical copy of Baldur's Gate 3 right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, honestly, Jared, like, I'm completely being unbiased here. Because they're out of stock at Larian's store right now, but Larian, as far as I know, is planning to get more. Like, I would try to set aside $100 for that. It's like 80, but it's 20 shipping. It's $100 for the deluxe edition. It's a sweet little box.
They're making more of them?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a birthday coming up in 2 months.
I would recommend it because, one, I think it's going to appreciate in value, and two, I legit think it's like one of the best games made in the past
really
10 years
good.
easy. Like, I mean, again, it's your money. You can make informed decisions. I'm giving my recommendation. I bought 3 copies of that definitive edition, one for Rebecca, one for me, one to keep sealed. And I know I'm biased, but if I can spend $100 on like a Trails game, I might not even play. Baldur's Gate 3 is an easy choice, is an easy buy. So, I mean, but you know what? If you really, if you really want to be like future proof, you really want to be safe, go buy Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition off GOG. It goes to sale for $2 sometimes. Like, get yourself a little tasty taste. I know they play completely different. They use a different D&D system, but if you like Baldur's Gate, they're very different. But
I mean, how's the console version?
I haven't really played it, honestly. Greg, have you played it, right?
No, I played that on PC.
Well, here, I'll say this. I can't say anything about the controls, because that's the only thing I'm even remotely worried about. But the game ran fine on my 1070 Ti. Ran fine. So the PlayStation 5 should have so much more power. I can't imagine it will run like shit. Maybe it'll be a little bit weird pressing extra buttons to do, you know, some menu commands, but I kind of doubt it because it was kind of designed with modern, like, Neverwinter Nights was an absolute chore because it was just designed with, like, nested radial menus, right? And sometimes you'd have to go to, like, 4 different layers of radial menus to do things that you wanted to do, which was a goddamn fucking pain in the ass on console. You don't have to do anything like that in Baldur's Gate 3. So, I don't imagine it's that bad a control, but I mean, if you have Baldur's Gate 2 on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4...
Yeah, I believe I have that bundle.
Try playing that. Like, I'm sure the controls will be a little subpar compared to a mouse and keyboard, but Baldur's Gate 2 is a way more complicated game. Like, Baldur's Gate 2 kind of requires you to put on buffs, especially in Throne of Baal. Like, you're not winning fights easily unless you're putting on Stone Skin and Mirror Image and Haste.
I know Baldur's Gate 3 has that story mode difficulty you could use if you wanted to. Does Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 not have anything like that?
No, it does. It does have a difficulty slider. It does. But you really want to enjoy the combat in Baldur's Gate 2. They're nice CRPG combat puzzles, right? Like, cool shit like, okay, when I activate this final switch and challenge the Guardians of the level, this fucking Beholder is going to spawn up here, so I need to move somebody with the Shield of Baldur to where that thing's going to spawn. I need to have a character, you know, with this spell ready to go to cast a breach on this mage who's going to appear here. So I tear through her spell defenses, and then my paladin can hit her. And, like, you know, I think that's where a lot of the fun comes in. Characters are really well written, but combat's really good, too. Even if a lot of the fights are just, like, the fodder fights are, everyone's going to need to have haste on them so you have an edge and you're not taking too much damage, so you don't have to try to rest every 5 seconds. So I'd say, you know, maybe try Baldur's Gate 2, and if you absolutely hate that in terms of, like, all the banter, all the character interactions, the strategic combat, yeah, maybe you're not going to like Baldur's Gate 3. Maybe. I don't know. Because I think they share enough of the same DNA that if you like Baldur's Gate 2, you're going to be inclined to try Baldur's Gate 3, even though they don't have that much in common in terms of, like, gameplay, aesthetics, or story. They share a CRPG DNA. So, and it's a different CRPG DNA than Oblivion has. Hi, Doodle. Hi there, puppy butt. Oh, man.
What'd you do for your birthday?
Man, I played Somnium Files.
Is this it?
This is it, man. I stayed up. I talked some D&D with Rebecca. We've got a campaign that we've been running together for 20 years now. It's our own little characters, our own little world, our own little setting, and, you know, we did some of that after she got off work in the morning, and then I went to sleep. So I go to my parents later because, you know, they do birthday stuff for me because I'm a grown man. They grilled out. They grilled out. My mom's still like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, just let's have some burgers, you know. They live right down the road, so, you know, it's not a big deal. Just drove there, ate some burgers, talked to my parents. My aunt called to talk to her. Made fun of my uncle. Had to tell my uncle because I have an Uncle Jim. Everyone has an Uncle Jim, right?
Yeah.
He's a wiry little Pollock. I mean, his little name is like Asowski. So that's Pollock as it gets right there. And he used to fucking tease me. He's bald as a fucking cue ball, right? And he used to fucking tease me about You're gonna go bald one day. Well, I had to fucking tell him, hey, motherfucker, I'm 40 and I've got a gorgeous head of hair. Like, you go look at paintings of, like, what was the Sun King, French, Louis the 14th or something? He's got that fucking wig on that's, like, down to his fucking ankles and just curly, long, voluptuous hair. I'm like, unlike him, my hair's it's not that long. My hair's not even shoulder length. It's not even, like, ear length right now, maybe. It needs to be cut. But
it's longer than Jim's, right?
It's full, it's glorious, it's thick. I got a few gray hairs, but it's not enough that you see them under most lighting conditions. Just a little bit of gray. Just a tiny little bit. I told him, hey, motherfucker, I'm 40. I got more hair on my chin than you got on your head. So.
Well, it's good to see you're taking the high road, nice and grown
Fuck
up.
him! He's talking shit, talk shit. Pay receipts. That's how, it's a gamble if you're gonna talk shit, ain't it? That's the fun of it.
Yeah, it should be, yeah.
So, yeah, it's not, I don't have any animosity for him. He talks shit, now there's receipts. He's paying his dues. So, that's how you work if you're a fucking Polak from middle Wisconsin. That's Wisconsin. That's how it goes, yadder hay. So, Yeah, I'm 40 now. It's crazy. I know Jared crossed his threshold a while ago, but I don't like it.
43 in about 2.5 months.
Ooh.
You're all old, and as the most beautimous of the group, it's you should all feel lucky to have me.
You're our baby. You're the young stud of this podcast. The only one with a 3 in his fucking name or age.
Yeah. And name if you're dyslexic.
Well, yeah. What was that word you used? Beauty? What? What
are you talking about?
The most beauteous one? Something like that?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
I can't remember what you said, but I'm not sure I've heard that before. You need to use that. You need to fit that into a guide somewhere.
With 40 also comes hearing problems.
Those were there. That's not a hearing problem. It's a memory problem. I can't remember what you said anymore. But you need to work that into that AI guide.
407.
Jared also predicted Silk Song will finally release in 2025. There's a chance. I'm not willing to put my money on it, but there's a chance. Grand Theft Auto 6 will not release in 2025. Okay. And Capcom will announce a Breath of Fire collection. Well, you got Lunar.
Ooh, Breath of Fire 3 and 4. Ooh.
That's not an easy prediction. I'll say that. That one comes through. There's some bragging there.
That was a copium.
Wish casting is what that was.
Didn't GOG just put Breath of Fire 3 on its
It
platform?
did.
Yeah, 4.
4, one of them, yeah. Yeah, but Jared doesn't want it on PC, even if it, goes down to like 2. But he wants to play it on a console with a controller. No, he doesn't want to hook a controller up to his PC. I mean, I agree. I don't understand why, but I don't like playing things on PC anymore. I played all of Clair Obscur on PC, but it's not my preference if I can at all avoid it. My predictions, we'll get Persona 6 or Persona 4 remake this year. Still waiting. It'll suck. There's a chance. It'll suck if they announce it, and then it's like, January 2026. I'm like, fuck you! Fuck!
You think one of them will release this year? Yeah,
that's what I said. That we'll get it this year.
Stretching it.
I said we'll get, and I'm gonna cop that. I mean, it'll be playable for us in 2025. So we'll see, but maybe. Well, if they don't, then they're not gonna have any games this year. So, like, I don't think it's not gonna be Persona 6. They would have shown it off. Like, they're gonna do a media thing for Persona 6 where you're gonna see a video. First, you're gonna see a teaser. Then they're gonna do like gameplay and character reveals, and they're gonna live off that for an entire
Persona
year.
5 it.
Yeah, exactly. Persona 4 is the only chance. There is an outside chance that they could show that off in 2 weeks and then launch it in like October. Entirely possible. I think that's possible, but that's like the only chance of that happening at this point. Fable 4 will be mid. Jared will decide. I think it got delayed out of this year, so I think that's already a bust. Isn't it? The Outer Worlds 2 will be delayed out of 2025. We'll see. I'm still buying that. Ubisoft will not be sold, although they might get investor who leaves the rapist neighbor Guillermo family in charge. I think that came true, didn't it? They could still be sold. I have to wait. But yeah, I think they took some of that Tencent money, and they put some of their IPs up as collateral, but actual stake in Ubisoft wasn't up for or at risk, I should say.
Yeah, their big IPs are like separate from.
Yeah. So you know what? If nothing changes business-wise with Ubisoft, I get to count that as a win, I think, at this point. Larian will announce their next RPG. We'll see. Final Fantasy 17.
I was really craving some when I was getting near the end of Baldur's Gate 3, I was like really craving some DLC.
Yeah.
Knowing they're not going to do it sucks.
So was I right when I said Act 3 was the weakest act?
I mean, is it the weakest? I don't know. I feel like it was just as good as 2.
Maybe. I think the ending was a little flat. Maybe that's what... Like, the ending was fine, but it wasn't, like, great. You know, it wasn't like the end of Mass Effect 1 where, you know, you just fucking defeated Sovereign and you're, you know, fucking walking out of the rubble injured but alive, and it wasn't that good. It was satisfactory. It didn't shit the bed like Expedition 33 did, but it was fine. It was fine. They stuck the landing, but it wasn't a 10 out of 10 landing. It was okay. You didn't fuck it up. You didn't reveal at the end of the game that everybody was actually a gerbil on a fucking chessboard just acting this out, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you could have done it worse.
To fucking these things up, I guess.
Yeah. You ended it satisfactorily, but I wasn't like pumping my fist in the air at the end.
I like the whole gather your allies thing that they have there, because that really puts some weight into the stuff you were doing in Act 1 and 2 as well.
Yeah. I mean, but they do that.
Maybe not Act 1, but
they do that in every CRPG, though. It's just like you have to spend the whole game building up favors and then the end game cashing them in.
Yeah, but you could cash them in mid-battle. That was a nice touch.
Maybe it just doesn't hit as hard for me anymore because, like, I mean, even Veilguard did that again. It's like,
yeah.
Can we do a little bit different? Like,
well,
I like the storyline.
They like paying things off.
That's fine. But you know, there are less formulaic ways to pay things off, I think.
Well, I mean, in Veilguard.
No, I know.
There's one way to make everything okie dokie. And Baldur's Gate 3, you can't get every ally in every playthrough.
No.
Can't do it. Some allies only come when you do certain choices, and if you pick the other choice, you get a different ally. Which is fine. That's fine, but you can't get everything.
Yeah, like, Veilguard, you have choices, but none of the consequences really seem to hurt.
I mean, people die.
People die, but I never really felt compelled to, like, do a different playthrough, to side with somebody else and have them, like, be the stand-in for a cutscene as opposed to another faction. I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I see how this would play out the other way.
3, where I can easily see wanting to do a second run, just to, yeah, you're right.
Well, like Baldur's Gate 3, like, I'd say it's easy to recommend 3 or 4 runs through that game. Like, one, just go on vibes. Just go on vibes, enjoy it. There's no wrong answers. Except for all the wrong answers you'll make. But you'll enjoy the wrong answers just as much as the right answers.
Yeah, and it works out. They let you live with your mistakes.
And your
mistakes...
One
of the things that, by the way, that Disco Elysium does so well.
Yeah. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 is...
I would want to do a Dark Urge run.
Yeah, like...
That was my instinct.
Do the good route, do the bad route, do Dark Urge, and then do, like, Tactician mode. Just after you know everything... Try to do the optimal route,
or
right?
honor mode with friends. That seems like a great one.
Or that, yeah. You really want to do that when your friends fucks up, the party gets wiped, and then you're all starting over again? I don't know.
What?
That's a lot of pressure.
You can do a customized honor mode.
Yeah.
If you're worried about that.
But Dark Urge sounds so fucking fun. I had a coworker doing that, and he just, like, he was behind us all, progression-wise, I don't know why, but he's like, so, that wizard just reached his arm through the portal and I ripped it off. We're all like, what? You ripped his arm off? He's like, yeah, it just gave me the option. I dark urged it, and I'm like that's just what we were thinking. We were like, he'd interject and say, so yeah, this didn't happen in my game because I just like woke up at camp and that NPC who was there the night before is dead and like torn into pieces around me, and I'm covered in her blood. It's like, what? What are you talking about, bro? And then, you're later on the game and some of these dues come to be paid. He's like, yeah, I couldn't do that because I killed them earlier. It sounds like a ride, but it sounds like you need to do a normal playthrough in a Dark Urge. Just be like, oh, that's how that's supposed to go. If you're not killing everybody.
I killed that Sayrid guy the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, well, this is some Baldur Gate 1 stuff, I bet. And he's dead. Immediately.
You're so mean. You're so mean.
What?
I mean, I think that's
he's
the thing.
A fucking arbiter of murder.
Oh, it happens.
It happens? What kind of society have you put up with?
America.
Yeah, well, he wasn't wearing a police uniform, so he didn't get away with it.
Or a fucking Israel flag, right?
He should have thought about that before not wearing the badge.
All right. You don't got the get out of murder free card.
Yeah.
I just, that's the thing about Baldur's Gate 3 is that even if you knew you fucked up or thought you probably fucked up, the fuck-ups were so entertaining that you didn't want to get rid of them because it felt organic. It wasn't like you were playing The Price is Right and you got like the bad spin on the wheel. It was like, oh no, this is perfectly valid too. Like this is a bumblefuck way of doing it, but I kind of want to roll with it.
Sometimes that's life. Bumblefuck.
Like the only option, and this isn't really a spoiler because this is a dumb thing you can do. The only option I did where I didn't have a choice to reload because it kills you, but there's a pit you can jump in to reach the Underdark, right? And you can just jump on in there. And the problem is you're one of those things that goes splat when you jump too far. So I jumped in.
Usually is the problem with pits.
Yeah, your shin bones kind of aren't really built for it. So I jumped in this hole I think it was underneath that like goblin occupied town. Like you can get there really early in the game and then just jump down a hole and see where it goes. And they play a cutscene. And I'm sitting there thinking like, does this actually work? I'm gonna land on a mushroom or something and it's just gonna zone me into this new area. And then my character just splats on the ground and I get a game over screen. I'm like, oh, it didn't work. I mean, what you got to do is you got to like cast Featherfall, right? And then jump down there, and then you survive. Yeah. Or you can go a whole nother way. There's like at least one other way, maybe two other ways you can get there. And maybe it's only one other way, but no, I think it's two because you can get there through the mountain pass too, can't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just great game. Worth playing. I
agree. That's a clear 10 out of 10 game. Clear.
I think if you're on a budget and you don't want to commit to the mechanics as much, maybe Disco Elysium is the easier play to get like a lot of the goodies.
Disco Elysium is also much shorter.
Yeah.
Like there's a little combat in it, but it's almost all narrative, and they're two completely different games.
How much of the combat in Disco Elysium is spent with like inanimate objects?
Most.
Alcohol's a hell of a drug, man. It's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. There is one like real oh shit, this is happening combat sequence. And other than that, like the quote unquote combat is you trying to get your necktie off a ceiling fan while you're wearing one shoe and wondering what your name is.
And drunk and you're in your underwear.
Yeah. And then, trying to decide for yourself if your necktie can really talk to you or not.
I mean, with alcohol, anything can talk to you. Final Fantasy 17 will not be announced this year. That kind of feels like cheap. I don't know. It feels too simple. Of course, they're not going to announce it. Dev cycle these years fucking like a decade long. Dragon Quest VIII will finally get a port remaster remake to PlayStation 5, Switch, Xbox. A new Fire Emblem game will launch on Switch 2 this year. That's looking unlikely. And Metroid Prime 4 will not launch in 2025. That's looking unlikely too. So, but you know what? I still have hope on Metroid Prime 4 not launching. It could still happen. It's still in play, I think. All right, more news. Microsoft is following Nintendo's lead and is rat-fucking gamers by raising prices arbitrarily. Hey, maybe it's tariffs, maybe it's not, maybe it's an excuse. I will say this, no one's buying the fucking thing anyways. I think Microsoft has enough stock in hand of the Xbox Series consoles that they don't need to raise prices, but god damn it, they're doing it anyways. So maybe you shouldn't sell your Xbox, because it might be worth more money in a bit.
Yeah, no joke.
Xbox Series is going up from, the 512 gigabyte Series S is going up from $300 to $380. The 1 terabyte Series S is going up from $350 to $430. Xbox Series X digital only is going up $100 from $450 to $550. Series X that actually can have discs put in it and run them off of fucking coaster because you don't actually get the full game on disc is going up from $500 to $600. The Xbox Series X 2 terabyte is going up from $600 to $730. It's going to cost more than a PS5 Pro.
So if anybody wants one, let me know.
$600. I'll say
I got a deal for you.
Xbox first-party stolen IPs will rise to $80 each. So that's some shit. Sony is totally going to follow suit. I know they could look like the hero and not do it, but they're a corporation. There's no heroism there. So, yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. I guess it doesn't really affect me because I already have an Xbox, but it's just collecting dust. I don't know.
You know, like you said on Discord, you're like, even if Sony does it, they're still gonna be the winner.
Yeah. All they're gonna lose by. Well, I mean, I think it's a win-win for them. If they raise prices, they get more money. If they keep prices low, they get more sales and get more money. So
they should go halfway.
They already announced that Ghost of GOTY is going to be a $70 game.
No takes his backsies.
Well, yeah, well.
We'll see. What else we got here? Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced the May 2025 monthly games lineup for PlayStation Plus Essential subscribers. All titles will be available from May 6th to June 2nd. This is a good month, I think. Ark Survival Ascended, which is the PlayStation 5 version of Ark Survival Evolved, right?
I'm sure it still runs like shit.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah. There's a reason I haven't tried to force anyone to podcast. Because, one, it doesn't seem like a game will platinum, and I don't know. It didn't look that appealing to me. Balatro, the game everyone has been talking about getting addicted to, which I thought was free for some reason. I don't know why.
It is now.
Well, it is now, that's for sure, yep. It's coming to PlayStation Plus. And Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun. Greg, you might like this. It's a boomer shooter.
Ooh, I do like boomer shooters.
It's actually good.
It's supposed to be pretty decent. I think everyone was giving it like an 8 out of 10, so, you know.
Because I watched somebody play it, and it's pretty good. There's a taunt button for your character. And he just runs through a bunch of shit and just shit talks.
Hopefully in that inimitable 40k manner.
Yeah.
Die, Xeno scum, in the name of the Emperor! Good shit. The only problem with Bolt Gun is you're playing a Smurf. And doesn't matter to sane people, but I'm not a sane person. I've actually messed around with Warhammer before. No one likes Ultramarines. They're the mascot of everything, and that's why a lot of people... They're the John Cena of 40k, right? Everyone's just sick of seeing them be the poster child when there's so many other factions they can use instead. All right, Electronic Arts has laid off hundreds of staff and cancels an early stage Titanfall universe extraction shooter. Supposedly 300 jobs gone, I think, at Respawn.
Oof.
So this is another case of fucking idiot fucking executives trying to push an extraction shooter into the marketplace, realizing, hey, this fucking sucks. It's gonna cost too much money, and it's never gonna recoup its losses because it's an extraction shooter. Like, only 2 of them have ever been profitable. You know what? I think if we had to balance the books on extraction shooters and hero shooters and just like that whole genre, I think it's cost, like, it's a net negative. I know Fortnite has made like billions of dollars, but
I'm sure Overwatch has made plenty of money.
I'm sure it has too, but how many companies have lost like several hundreds of millions on these projects? Battleborn had to have lost money, Concord lost money, like these companies have been losing money left and right doing this. So maybe it breaks even, maybe not, but I don't know.
Square Enix is...
Square Enix, didn't they do a... what was the one they did? Oh, fuck.
They had 2. They had the one from Platinum Games.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. Babylon's Fall?
Yeah. And then they had that Splatoon with soap.
No, bro, they also had Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, didn't they? Wasn't that an extraction shooter? Or extraction something?
That was a mobile game.
Yeah, it still counts.
That comes and goes like fucking
a
wave.
We already talked about Borderlands 4. Jared, are you buying this game at launch?
I don't know. Depends.
Well, yeah, I mean, if I'm paid to write for it,
only if we get paid for it, right?
You know what? Hey, you know what? Let's plant that seed with Howard right now. That's a project for 3 people right there. And then we'll have a podcast game. Everyone wins.
Yeah. We only write what we did in the podcast.
No, we can play extra. We can make Jared play extra. We can make Jared play extra. That sounds fair.
Oh, yeah, sure. Make sure.
No, I'm not going to Alex you. It's fine. That's actually a thought worth having. I'm not a big fan of Borderlands, but I'm a big fan of... You know what? The 3 of us haven't done a guide together. That needs to fucking change, man.
Nah, Jaren doesn't like me that much.
What? Well, too bad. I'll make you 2 get along long enough to write a guide. I'll be the mediator.
I think I've done the most co-op projects. I mean, unless you guys can think of anybody else.
Well, I don't know. I don't keep track, so I don't have a way to... have a way to gauge.
Well, you know who you've worked with.
I've worked with you.
Would you say
I've
you worked with more
Jared.
than five people?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, you guys work for companies, though.
At Gamer Guides, yeah.
Okay. Let's define co-op project. You and one other person did a guide together.
No, I think I've only done guides. Well...
outside of Gamer Guides?
Yeah, well, no, I'll include Gamer Guides if it was just you and one other person. Because anything more than that, you're getting collaborative.
Well, here's the thing, like, sometimes it'll start with 3 people, but the vast majority of it will be done by 2. Somebody will get pulled off to do something else, like a weekend, you know? Because if you want to judge it that way, I'm pretty sure I've done...
Well, we gotta draw a line somewhere.
I'm pretty sure I've done, like, just 2-person guides with Ben before. Pretty much.
Me and you.
Me and Jared, yeah. Of course, me and Greg, first one who did was Fallout. I don't know if I've ever just done like a... They had somebody do, like, they were supposed to work on Deus Ex, right? Way back in the day.
The Human Revolution?
Mankind Divided. Which I liked and I think was underrated. The multiplayer stuff sucked. Breach mode was terrible. But the actual, core gameplay was pretty good. I liked the main campaign well enough. They had a trainee come in. This was back when you had to learn the system and they weren't just trying to get every displaced journalist from a site with a name you've heard of. This person, like, I trained him one day, was teaching him how to do stuff. This is the old CMS where you had to, like, enter a paragraph element and then a header element instead of just, entering the code and putting it all in on one sheet. It was a bit of a pain, but, it worked. He was there for that one day and then he was gone. So I can't count that. Like, he never actually contributed anything.
He had an employee for one day?
I had an employee for one day. Well, I wasn't like he wasn't
That's
under
pretty
me.
impressive.
I was just teaching him how to use the
No,
site.
I know, but still.
I mean, I've taught a lot of people how to use the site. I've made fucking worksheets for the site.
Yeah, but this guy joined one day and then never came back a second day.
Yeah, as far as I know. But there's a black chick they hired, and you know, she was in chat one day talking, and she's gone. It's like, okay, I guess she didn't do anything. Like, no, people don't work out. It's Jared and I were there for like 5 years, and they hired a bunch of people, and they just never got anything done for 5 years until Ben showed up. He was the first one. That's why I didn't really like, you know, they'd hire someone wouldn't think of him. I'm like, it was kind of like World War I in the trenches. Like you get some new guys in the trenches, and the old guys are like,
you last for a little while. I might learn your name.
Yeah, if you don't end up with a hole in your fucking forehead, we'll talk. But till then, I don't care about you. Yeah, now they, like, as of 3 or 4 years ago, they probably have more people than they fucking needed, honestly. Like, they seem to have a fetish for hiring people and marginally using them and just being a revolving door, and I just don't know what half the people do anymore. So, I mean, it is what I don't really care as long as I get my own shit, which, you know, wasn't a problem until 2 weeks ago. So, no, no, go on.
No, so they try to make us wear one too many hats.
I mean, I could do the mapping. That's fine. I don't mind that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't mind the database, because database is just like writing small guide pages. I don't care. I'll write a summary of a fucking item or a quest or whatever. But it's just, yeah, with the video shit, I don't want to be doing, like, if you want me to do videos, then I'm not doing guide stuff too. Right? I will play through the game and I will record these little shorts you want me to do, but I'm not doing that and fucking taking a break from, you know, because you want me to do the full guide work, and then you want me to do, like, the full video work, and then you want us to be doing, no, like, you need to have people specializing.
Yeah, then, you know, researching SEO and bullshit like that.
No, fuck you, I don't want to do SEO. That's like one of the main draws right now of NeoSeeker is Howard doesn't have to worry about SEO because his site is so old that it gets traffic. It's grandfathered in, pretty much. Like, you'll find NeoSeeker searches.
I was searching Baldur's Gate 3 stuff, obviously, while I was playing.
Yeah.
And he's always like one of the top 5 hits, even with this guide.
Yeah. That's, you know what? And I don't want to talk shit about Howard, right? Because I need him to pay me money. But that has nothing to do with the site, its quality, the authors, and that's my own shit too. Like, if you can find a Fire Emblem 3 Houses guide on NeoSeeker, like, if that's one of the top search results, our guide, that's not because we wrote such an amazing guide. I think we did a good job, but it's just because NeoSeeker's old. Like, that's just how Google works. They rank on authority now, not on quality necessarily.
Even that, they do a lot of guides for some fucking small ass games, even some I never even heard of.
Yep. Yep. I mean, that's a term that Gamer Guide's never made.
Somnium.
Yeah, they only wanted to cover the big shit. They didn't even want to, like, strip down and do littler guides like some of the things that I find the most useful, that I like the most, are just those little trophy guides where you're just, you know, it's basically just how to get a platinum trophy. And those could conceivably be done a lot faster and get decent traffic, and I think they're useful. There are people that made careers on that shit, like Bad Driver doing those videos, you know?
It took a lot of convincing for me to do the Sea of Star guide.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's gonna get DLC for free here soon.
Was that
if I can pay for it?
Was that the game I bought a physical copy for and it's just never arrived yet?
And that was Chain Echoes.
Oh,
Chain Echoes.
No, okay.
Sea of Stars did really well on NeoSeeker.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm like most looking forward to if I do NeoSeeker stuff full time again.
Sea of Stars did pretty well on Gamer Guides too.
People like those JRPGs.
I still maintain that if they would have done an East fucking 8 guide any time before the PS5 launch, they would have PS5 or Switch launch. I should say Switch launch. They would have done pretty well.
Well, East 8, East 9, East 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, but East 8 especially. I think East 8 is probably like the traffic king for that series.
My E8 guide is like 5 million or something on GameFAQs.
That's pretty good shit. That's pretty good shit. And they won't do it. They won't do it.
No.
Meanwhile, they'll stick us on every fucking Owlcat game. I mean, those do well traffic wise, but
yeah, freaking the Warhammer one did really well.
Yeah, they always do. They always do. They even do well for us. But you know what? I think I will take great delight in telling them fucking no if they try to get me to do a goddamn fucking guide for another one of those fucking games. Just be like, no. You can hire someone else to do it. Especially if I'm not getting salary. Like, when I was getting salary, okay, I'm a team player, I'll do it. But I'm not taking a fucking multi-$100 contract to fucking torture myself with those terrible games. I know Greg didn't hate it as much as I did. They're horrible. They're miserable.
To be fair, all I had to do was write the heretic choices when they appeared.
Yeah, okay. You let me do that, and I'll join on your fucking. I'll join on your Neo Secret project.
My experience is like maybe a tenth of what Alex probably did.
Nathan had a very traumatic experience with Owlcat.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think Alex is fond of them either, to be fair. So that says something.
If you're trying to figure out why things work and plan things and like, when to do this, why this event happened, they are miserable.
The
Miserable.
Heretic playthrough sucked. I lost 3 or 4 fucking main characters.
Yeah.
His escape was Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, and Final Fantasy 13. I played those games to because I was so numb I couldn't feel joy, but I could feel apathy, right? I could feel nothingness, nihilism. I would play those games just to vibe on the emptiness of them. Oh, it was miserable. It was miserable. Like, I know this is like petty shit. There are fucking people being starved to death in Gaza right now, so small beans, right? There are levels to this, but the thing that caused me the most stress in life is a game with shitty mechanics, a game that's fucking obtuse, a game that's not fun, a game that has like a lot of bullshit progression barriers that I'm under contract and on a time limit to write. That's why one of the reasons why I really hate Souls games. Because I usually end up writing for them. I don't like banging my head against a boss repeatedly to end up fucking writing a strategy that always boils down to press the button at this time better. Like, it's not fun from a professional standpoint. It's not fun from a gaming standpoint, in my opinion. Whatever, your mileage may vary. But it's extra worse when you're on a time limit and you're trying to fucking get your pages in and make your progress. And I hate that shit. I hate having too many people on a guide, no one knowing what the fuck they're doing, and wondering, like, I like knowing what I'm doing each day and being able to just plan it out, play through it, and make progress. And I don't know. Gamer Guides has a lot of too many cooks spoiling the brew, and
oh wow, going through this guide after somebody else is not fun.
No,
but having an excuse to play through Baldur's Gate 3, I'll you know what, I'll suffer. It's a suffer.
Thing off.
What a suffer.
I've been on worse.
What was it, Final Fantasy X or something? No. Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
That guy was complete and utter shit.
Yeah. Who wrote the original?
I had no idea.
I thought it was a GameFAQs guy, but I can't remember who now. Going through guides and fixing somebody else's shit was the worst part of the job before I had to learn what the words SEO meant. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not actually good at this, like, online content creation, but in my defense, I don't believe that, like, trying to trick a fucking schizophrenic algorithm into fucking promoting our shit is actually fucking content creation. All right, that's something else. Like if my focus is tricking a fucking machine into ranking our page by producing
that's advertising.
Yeah, it's producing clickbait slop that a fucking machine likes and will promote. That's not writing a good guide. That's not telling people how to play through a game. That's not helping anybody. That's just snatching fucking idiot fucking rubefish out of the fucking Google River. That's not fucking fun. I want to hunt for bass. I want to hunt for trophy fish.
As GameFAQs says, clicks are clicks.
I don't want to get the fucking idiot guppy that, doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and can't be bothered to fucking read 2 pages to get context and learn what they're supposed to be doing. Sorry, not every guide page is as simple as fucking, this is where the fucking thingamajig is. Whoa, aren't thingamajigs great? I fucking hate that. I hate that. I hate that kind of writing. I haven't had to do it in Oblivion.
The award-winning game, Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Like, we were doing Expedition.
So creative because thingamajigs like this exist.
We were doing Expedition 33 stuff and gonna cast some shade on a lot of people here. Like, they would end their character build pages with, like, a blurb about the voice actor, and I'm reading to it, like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? Now,
I was reading that, I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, like, okay, there are 2 people in the world who'd put bullshit like this in a fucking guide. Absolute Steve, and I guess now fucking clickbait bullshit on gamer guides. So, you know what? I don't think it matters who the fucking voice actor for fucking a character in a video game is.
Oh, it can.
Not on a guide page, that's not what we're fucking doing. Okay? People want to know what skills to buy and what weapons to use and some details about the characters. They don't give a fuck about Ben fucking Starr showing up halfway through the game and giving a generic... Sorry, okay? The voice actors for Expedition 33 are fine. I think Shadowheart's voice actress, I don't remember her name, is fine. But she's kind of a fucking low-energy, monotone murmurer. Alright? That's just her gimmick. Whatever. It's fine. People like it. I don't think it's amazing. She doesn't take me through an emotional roller coaster. She's fine. Ben Starr, again, I'm gruff guy, I say British things nonchalantly. Wonderful, great. 2 games with the same fucking voice and character. I'm done with you. I'm not enthralled. I'm not engaged. So, I personally don't give a shit. But, something I do find interesting, maybe this is just personal taste, you know who does the voice of, what's his name, Kanabe Date?
No. Who?
The guy who does the voice of Nanba in the Like a Dragon games.
Really?
And I'm like, that's your guy! He's got inflection,
Yeah.
He's engaging, he's fucking funny, he's got good reads. I like him. I had to look him up because he kind of sounded like Spike Spiegel, and I'm looking at his IMDb, I'm like, Nanba? He's Nanba? His Nanba and his Dante are fairly different. So, good on you, buddy. Good on you. That's interesting shit. That's, okay, I can praise fucking Shadowheart's actress for her mumbling through 2 games. That's fine. But, sorry. I'm not just gonna fucking fuck her ass because she's been in 2 high-profile games. Even if I liked her roles. Her gimmick isn't fresh anymore. You know what? Next time, play a character who actually emotes a little bit. Then I'll care. Then I'll see you have range. Alright. What are we doing here? United Kingdom-based boutique merchandise studio Pinbox will release an officially... what?
He was also more in Metaphor.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, he was more in... That's another game you need to play, Greg. You need to play Metaphor, and we will see if you agree with my opinion that it is a very good 8 out of 5 game. Or if you are more in line with Jared's opinion.
I lost my headphones. How do I sound?
Bad, but doable, because we don't have that much. What happened to your headphones? They run out of battery?
Yeah, they ran out of...
Oh. You said lost them. I was like, did you drop them?
Yeah, they're gone forever.
They fell off a cliff. Yeah. You need to play Metaphor.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Eventually.
I need to play a lot of things.
Yeah. Because I'm sure Jared and I have a difference of opinion about that game's quality, but it's not like huge. There's no drama here. Jared probably thinks it's a 9. I'm leaning more towards 8.5. Like,
you realize how close that is, right?
it's pretty close, but it's a big difference because, in my opinion, 2024 had a lot of 8.5 out of 10 RPGs. Like, a lot of really good but not great RPGs. Like we had Infinite Wealth, we had Veilguard. I would put Persona 4 or Persona 3 Reload up there. I put Metaphor on that level. So you had a bunch of RPGs that were clustered around that range, but none of them that really exceeded it. And if you think one of those games exceeded it, then I think it's safe to say that game is now in GOTY territory, right? So
yeah, sure.
So that's a big difference. Like, did I give a GOTY for 2020? I'm not sure I did.
2024?
Yeah.
You did Unicorn Overlord, I think.
Unicorn Overlord. Never mind. I'm like, yeah. See, that's the thing. Like,
how dare you? First of all, how dare you forget?
How dare? No, that is kind of sad. That's kind of embarrassing. But like, that's the thing. Like, if Metaphor was like a 9 out of 10, you know, maybe it's my GOTY over Unicorn Overlord. I don't know. So I think it's an interesting difference. And you played Unicorn Overlord. You know, you can play Metaphor. You can tell me which one is better. See if I'm wrong in your opinion, or Jared. You know, maybe Jared has the right approach here with Metaphor being better. Jared hasn't played Unicorn Overlord yet. I have a vague suspicion that I might be in the minority of saying that Unicorn Overlord's better than Metaphor, but that's fine. I don't have to conform to everything.
I sure do like Unicorn Overlord, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I've had an irrational love of Ogre Battle.
Yeah.
Ever since playing it on the fucking Super Nintendo. How many people out there probably don't fall underneath that fucking camp?
So what game on PlayStation 4 is most like Unicorn Overlord?
Oof.
Is there like Tactics Ogre? Is that like it, or?
No, Tactics Ogre is more like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay. I mean, also good.
I'm not sure there is another game on PS4 like that.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Hey, I'm going to Google that, because I love that question.
Oh, shit, no! I had a question There's a question I was supposed to ask on this podcast. Shit, I need to look it up. I think it's on my my Facebook page.
Oh, this guy says any console, but that's an easier question if you say any console.
Nope, I want to play it on my PlayStation. I don't care about his...
Oh, yeah, here we go. This guy says Grand Kingdom. You can play that on PS4.
Okay.
I only played like an hour of it, and it seemed promising, but, I mean, Unicorn Overlord's better.
Okay. Well, yeah, because, like, the real difference is, and this can't be overstated, like, that Vanillaware art style, man, it's enthralling.
Oh, it's great.
So,
it's always been great, too.
Yeah. Even though their games haven't always been great, their art style is never been the problem. Let me go check. I remember someone on my Facebook page asked me something. All right. Okay, so I wrote a post. This was like in response to Expedition 33. I've become increasingly skeptical of ARPGs over the past decade or so. It's not that I don't still play them or enjoy some of them quite a bit, but I find one of their core premises to be dubious at best and detrimental at worst, namely the action bit and the RPG bit often conflict with each other. In almost every ARPG I've ever played, one of those elements trivializes the other. In extreme cases like Final Fantasy 16, you get something that's essentially not even an RPG at all. Your weapons really don't matter. Your choices when it comes to equipment and loadouts are moot. Far Cry and the Arkham games had more robust RPG elements. On the other side of the scale, some ARPGs can have performative action elements made redundant by good gear or builds. Fallout 4 is an ARPG, and the shooter elements do matter until you get an explosive combat shotgun, ballistic weave, supporting perks. I think I already talked about this. This sounds familiar. Maybe not. We'll run with it anyways. Anyways, I'm sitting here talking about like games that have ARPGs that have a good mix of like RPG elements, decisions, builds, loadouts, party composition, etc. That also have like really good gameplay that matters, right? And somebody asked me, which games do you think have the best balance? So the best balance between RPG elements and action gameplay elements. And I said off the top of my head that one of the better ones I could think of was Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not Rebirth, Remake. But that's a good question, and I wanted to put it up for other people who played a lot of ARPGs to see if they have like an opinion on a game where the RPG mechanics and the action mechanics don't trivialize each other, where you need to lean into both. And because in my experience, if you're really good at the action, you're really good at the like parrying, countering, dodging, whatever, you don't really need the RPG stuff most of the time. On the other hand, if you know how to make like a really busted build, you don't really need to know how to dodge and shit. Like, there's rarely a game that does both.
I wonder how close Deus Ex gets to that. Like the very first Deus Ex.
I haven't played that one. I know Mankind Divided is a game that's almost entirely stealth. Like if you're good at stealth games, you can just play through that without using any gadgets, any guns. Some things will be easier if you level them up, but you're really it's mostly just learning the routes through the levels. So that'd be a clear case of the gameplay trivializing the RPG. So, I don't know. I thought it was a good question. Think about some more. I'll keep reading news. UK-based boutique merchandise studio Pinbox will release an officially licensed Trails in the Sky first chapter bracer supply box this fall for £200. I don't know if that's going to come west. £200 is probably about $270 or something like that. It's a lot of fucking money with free worldwide shipping. So yeah, if you're willing to spend $270 on it, no shipping. Open pre-orders are available from today until May 29th. Only a single production run is planned with no reprints. I looked through this thing, but we'll go over it again. And I want Trails in the Sky first. That's the game I'm interested in. This fucking thing. This is just bad. So, it comes with an 8.5-inch acrylic diorama 3D standee. I'm going to translate for y'all if you're not watching the screen. It's a flat acrylic print of the two main characters with like a cardboard landscape background forming an L behind it. Okay? 3D diorama, what the fuck ever. Fuck you, you liar. It's got a set of 3 enamel pins. Again, the two main characters and I guess like a bracer badge, it looks like. If you don't remember what bracers are, it's like the Hunter Adventurer Guild organization that the main characters belong to. A 9-inch real leather junior bracer notebook. I don't know if there's anything inside of it or if you're just supposed to scribble your own shit in there, but not really interested in the latter. Only marginally interested in the former. Like, I'm going through this. I'm generously saying $5, $10, whatever. Like, not how much it's objectively worth, but if I was just like a huge sucker for this and was willing to justify buying it, right? This is how much I would try to justify paying for it. It's got 2 keychains with, I guess, the main character's weapons. A 12-inch by 8-inch canvas map print. I do like maps, I'll say that. A set of art prints. I don't really care about art prints. It's my personal taste. Not really a big fan. A 14-piece ornament quartz. It's a bunch of fucking rocks in a goddamn like jewelry box sort of display case. It's glass, probably with like foam where the multicolored quartz can be inset. A 4-inch die-cast metal ornament replica, or ornament replica with magnetic quartz slots. That's just the thing where you slot your spell crystals in, your quartz in those games. It looks nice. It looks like it's machined well. It looks kind of cool, I'll say that. And a full-size Estelle's bag replica. So you get a bag, a fancy knot stopwatch, a map, and some other bullshit. I'm sitting here like adding this all up, and I come to, if I'm being generous, and I'm trying to find an excuse to buy this, I came up to like $90 of value. No game as far as I'm aware. Is there a code? I can't remember if there's a game in this, but $90 of value. They're charging $270. That's a big oof. That's a big fucking oof, man. That's
Big
greedy.
oofs.
That's greedy as fuck. So, if this is like, I normally like buying from, what's this, Falcom. I like buying from them because Falcom, they're the ones who do those lovely East Collector's Editions, 100 to 120. You get some nice stuff, the game, it's cool. But, this ain't it. So, I think, even if I was regularly employed on salary, I'd be passing on this pretty hard. But the way things are, absolutely not. Neptunia Rebirth 1 will get a Switch release after all. After all that drama, after all that wrangling, after all that crying and fucking optimism. It's going to be one of those, we're releasing it in the Asia region with English and Japanese voice and text and whatever. Just import it from PlayAsia if you want it on Switch, which is what I thought they would do all along. As soon as like Nintendo of America said no, I thought they would just go and do this. And here they are. I don't know why it took so many extra steps, but I guess we got there in the end, so, it's, you can get Rebirth 1 on the Switch. I don't know if there's going to be other ones. There apparently is like a collector's limited edition of this on VGP. I think it's sold out, but I wasn't in the market for it anyways. Let me see. You couldn't find any matches for Neptunia Rebirth. What are you doing? There we go. See if I can find this. I swear I followed a link here just yesterday to look at this. Is this it? Nope, that's Game Maker Revolution. Here it is. Okay, here it is. $95 Canadian. I don't know what that is in American. I think it's like 70 something. You would get soundtrack CD, Joy-Con stickers, a manual, a mini case. I don't know what the hell that is. I guess it's just a case that kind of just holds the game card, not much else. Acrylic standees of some of the main characters. It looks like Iffy, Neptunia, and I can't remember the other one's name. A numbered certificate, an art book, and the game itself, all in a collector's box. It's kind of shades of the old NISA limited edition, so it's not terrible. It's just, I don't really care to have it on Switch. Like, they have PlayStation 4 versions, so why would I buy it on Switch? And the last bit of news we have for this week, that I'm aware of anyways, total sales for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 have surpassed 3 million units. Publisher Deep Silver and developer Warhorse Studios announced. Total sales for the original Kingdom Come Deliverance have also surpassed 10 million units. That's a little bit like 10 million units is pretty good. It's pretty good no matter what. But I do want to point out that this game was on everything. It was on, like, it's been on sale on PlayStation 4 for like, I think $5, maybe $8 if you buy the Royal Edition. Like, this thing has been dirt cheap repeatedly for years. So not taking anything away from them, they still sold their 10 million, but not all those 10 million were bringing in like $20 a copy. Just saying that. I think they also did like a COVID bundle where they had it with a whole bunch of other games for super cheap on GOG. That's where I originally bought it. And, then never played it, but, everyone else was having a hard time during COVID. I was doing well because everyone was indoors playing video games. Lots of demand for guys at the time. I could work from home, but...
Well, that and all those supplies that you bought that you were scalping to people, remember that?
Oh, yeah, I was selling toilet paper by the fucking carton.
Turns out lots of money. Mm-hmm. Lots of money there. Don't forget.
Scalping all these video game consoles I stocked up ahead of time just in case. Yeah, if only. Scalpers are dickbags, but man, in this fucking economy, I you know what? It's getting harder and harder to fucking blame people. Like, especially with companies just being so shitty, it's just, I don't know. I was looking at, I got an ad on Facebook for Weird Al Yankovic. He's going to be in Nashville in September. I'm not a big fan, but I was like, I don't see how much these cost. I piqued my curiosity. It's like $40 to fucking, like, be in the grass, man. Like, binocular fucking vision type distance. It's like, you are out of your who is supposed to afford this shit? Like, these motherfuckers not know what rent costs these days? What, eggs $6 a fucking carton? I'm fucking spending $40 to fucking watch Weird Al Yankovic copy other people's songs with binoculars. I don't get it. Video games are trying to do the same thing, and I'm like, you're looking at this economy and going, oh yeah, people have more money to waste on your shit. I mean, whatever, it is what it is. I can always just buy them when they're on sale.
Wish I had that much money, yeah.
So yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance, I credit to them for helping people out during COVID and putting their shit on sale for cheap. But that 10 million maybe should come with an asterisk. But hey, it was good enough to get them a sequel, which apparently is more than we're going to be able to say for Dragon Age Veilguard, and that's fucking sad. What are you doing on Facebook, Rebecca?
See what I'm doing over here.
She's sending me messages and then deleting them. I know, she's transferring shit, I guess, from one PC to another, from her phone to, I don't know. Okay. She's playing her little mobile game. So Rebecca, Greg, turns out didn't do any AI Somnium stuff either, so we're not going to cover it this podcast. So you have a whole another week to do day 3 of Blue Route. So, then we just got on a spiel talking about Baldur's Gate, and like they did not sing me happy birthday, you rat bastards. You unclog those pipes and get to singing.
I lost my headphones. I can't do that.
Oh yeah, you just have an excuse for why you're gonna sound like shit. You have more of a reason to do it now. Oh man. But yeah, that's all I got for this podcast. Unless anyone else done anything, seen anything, played anything. It's just been Oblivion and Baldur's Gate 3, I guess, for us is what we've mostly been doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Which is pretty good.
I'll tell you what, I was doing the Nern, I mapped 200 fucking Nern routes last week along with doing pages. That's a lot of just playing the game with only the ambient volume on, walking around the coast, finding Nern routes, and adding them to the map and writing directions over and over again, about 50 a day for 4 days. And I don't know, it was kind of zen, it was kind of therapeutic. Just working shit out in my head while I'm finding these Nern routes. But I hand the 100 Nern routes into the dude who does the quest, and he's an alchemist, so he's going through one of his little animations where he's lifting and smelling the ingredients of one flask and then the other, and he's a high elf, he looks kind of weird, he's got dead little eyes, and he's staring at me while he mechanically lifts and smells these glasses, and I'm just take a screenshot of it, I'm just looking at this character, this ugly, hideous character doing this weird-ass animation while he's trying to talk to me. I'm just man, no other game will ever intentionally have this much aura again. It's just... Oh yeah. So I don't know. Are you're in the Map DB chat, right, Jared? As well as the guides. So I killed a wolf, and remember what kind of physics did this? Was it havoc physics? It's the physics that make things die and look derpy, because they kind of just like
the rag doll.
Yes, yeah. Like in Demon Souls, Dark Souls, they die and they kind of just they do their own thing. There's like and they're spazzing out. Well, this one wolf decided to die. He died so like his face was pointing straight up, but his knees were like his hind legs were bent. So he kind of looked like he was ready to pounce, and he just had this dumb fucking expression. Like his teeth were showing, and his eyes were wide, but his like mouth wasn't open. And so somebody shared a dumb, like I screen capped it. I realized this is magic. This is fantastic. Like this could be memed. And someone shared a dumb image on Slack, and I was like, all right, no, I got one for you if we're doing stupid images. And so I posted an image that I'm affectionately calling Derp Wolf. Here, I'll send it to you. It's fantastic. And Claire stole it and is using it as her avatar now. And they even worked that image into the fucking map post that we put on Reddit and Steam. So Derp Wolf is, I guess, the unofficial mascot of our Oblivion guide right now. It's fantastic. You gotta go look, Greg.
I've got to.
You got to. It's on Facebook. I just sent it to you.
You have to show me it too.
Oh, you're not. I thought you saw it. Okay.
No.
I'll put it on the CRPGM channel.
Because they never invited me to the map channel.
Oh, I thought they did. Oh, so okay. So when you posted something about maps earlier, okay. I kind of assumed that was in the map channel. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. I don't know. They don't want me. I don't know if they even want me to be doing map stuff. But I was like, yeah, I gotta get this Nernroot page. I'm not waiting a fucking 2 weeks for them to do this. Like, I'm already ahead on the guide stuff. So why am I waiting for them? Oh, where is it? There we go. I found one dog in the world, even if it's fictional, that looks more derpy than our dogs. Yes, I'm talking about you, Joker. So I was getting ready to go to my parents' house, but like Rebecca and I stayed up talking until noon, and she worked all night. I took like a 2-hour nap at around midnight, and I was up from 3 to midnight after only sleeping for 2 hours. And I go to sleep, and Joker decides he didn't want to go to sleep in Rebecca's room for whatever reason, and he climbs up on my couch, climbs over my head, and lays on my back as I'm sleeping, because I sleep on my stomach, I don't know. Weird, I guess. And he goes to sleep on me. He doesn't do that often. Like, they're not big dogs, so it's not a big deal to have a 30-pound dog sleep on your back. But I'm like, that's weird. He never does that. And then this was, I think, at 3, and then he wakes me up by getting up at like 4:40 something. And I don't know what it is about corgis, but like they've got like Mass Effect technology. They can concentrate their mass into 1 foot. I don't know how they do it, but they can just like amplify all their weight when they're stepping on you, and they're just whatever. He woke me up because he was corgi stomping me, and then he jumps off my back. He's on top of the couch. His couch is already somewhat high. He's a few feet off the ground. So he's just jumping from like 3 feet in the air onto the ground, like, you're gonna kill yourself. I just heard him go thump. I'm like, fucking dog, dummy. Corgi derp dogs. I don't hear riotous laughter about Derp Wolf. You all must not have a good sense of humor. I don't know, because Rebecca went into a fit of hysterics when she saw it.
I can't look at it without dying.
There's something wrong with you two. Everyone else likes Derp Wolf. Alright, but I think that'll do it for
You
this.
caught me. I gotta go look.
You still haven't looked?
Thing? No, I'll go look.
Oh, this guy.
Where's the thing? Where is it?
I'm laughing about Greg potentially seeing it.
Oh, geez. I like it. No, that's pretty good.
That's Dark Wolf. All right, so you know what? Hopefully I make more progress on AI Somnium Files. I think I kind of want to be short with this guide, just like, tell people generally click on everything. Try to go through all the dialogue options if you can, but this is what you need to do to actually proceed. I suspect in writing there's going to be a lot of me going, exhaust all of blah blah blah's dialogue options. Like that line's probably going to come up a bit.
Oh yeah, probably.
So get through that one and hopefully move on to other things for Neo Seeker. Right, baby bunny. Yes, you're so sweet. All right. Unless anyone has anything else, that'll do it for this episode of the 3G podcast.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, that's good. Talk to y'all later. We will hopefully continue with Visual Novel Book Club, AI Somnium Files, Blue Route Day 3. Next week, Greg, Rebecca, reminder. Until next time, see y'all later.
Bye.